Well, good morning, Transplant Helper community. My name is Jim Merle, and yes, today is the day. It is time for my semi-annual heart transplant anniversary checkup. So I go every 6 months over to Kirkland Clinic, UAB Hospital, get a full workup, make sure the little ticker's still working good, make sure everything's going great. There's a little bit of difference between the one I experience right now, or I'm going to experience in a few moments in November, and that is it's a little bit shorter, a little bit less procedure to it. In May, when I have my transplant anniversary officially, annual, if you will, I always endure a heart cath / angiogram / whatever. Will not be doing that today. Today is simply blood work, x-ray, EKG, and echo, and then going over to see the doctor. So pretty simple stuff this morning, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I know a lot of you probably get anxious when your appointment times come up, when clinic visits, major clinic visits come up. I don't get anxious at all about it. A few reasons behind that. First and foremost, I trust my God, and I trust that no matter the outcome in this, that I can spend eternity in heaven with Him. I don't need this temporary life as much as some may think they do. I trust in God for eternity, so I'm good whatever comes up. In addition to that, it also comes down to just experience. I've been there, done that so many times, and I've not had a negative experience really in this. I've never experienced rejection, so it's never been like a day when I go in and they tell me you're in stage whatever or whatever rejection and you have to go in the hospital. Haven't experienced that. I did have the issue several years back with my heart valve, which I knew was coming. It wasn't a surprise that my aortic valve was going bad. And so that was a little bit draining emotionally, just to be told, that's it, there's nothing else we can do. And they, of course, set me up for the valve replacement, which was successful, by the way, if you remember that. But I just hadn't had those issues. So as far as my experiences go personally, this has never been a traumatic day for me. This has never been a day when I've really been caught out of sorts on anything. So I just look forward to it. What these days do represent, however, are days when I can just take a step back and remember my donor, Dickie, remember the wonderful gift that was given by him to me, and the fact that I have made it to another semi-annual or annual appointment time. That's been a wonderful, wonderful blessing. Getting to know his family as I have, having a relationship that I do with both his mom, Louise, also his sisters, Nancy, Tracy, and Denise, has been great. And I'm just thrilled to know them and to know that what I'm doing here today is not only going to check out, my body and my results, but we're going to see how Dickie's heart is doing. So I think that's just a little motivation there and excitement that comes in. Dickie would be 58 years old, if I'm not mistaken, at this point. So I'm going in to see what my 58-year-old heart looks like. And so I don't expect everything to be perfect. I don't expect all the results to be, absolutely great. But I know they'll be plenty good enough. And we live on every day, or I live on every day along with Dickie. And so it's just an exciting moment. While I'm on the subject of the family, please be praying for Dickie's sister. Her name is Nancy. Nancy suffered, I guess you could call it a massive stroke, a really bad stroke. Been a couple of weeks ago now. She is recovering well, surprisingly well. Everything is not perfect. She's got a long way to go. But it's my understanding, I believe, that she is currently in the process, if not already yesterday, being moved from the major ICU hospital facility over to a rehabilitation facility where hopefully she can start making some strides and process back. I know she had lost basically the function of one side of her body, difficulty speaking, the typical things that come with major strokes. And so just pray for her, pray for everyone involved, for her sisters, again, for Miss Louise, the mother of them all, and my donor mama. Please pray for her as they're going through this very difficult time. And just I can't imagine how hard that is to watch. Having known and knowing what happened with Dickie 8 years ago, a little over 8.5 years ago now, and then although a little different situation, Nancy ended up in the same hospital, I think, and ended up dealing with the same issues there for a while. Being on life support, and just terrible, scary times for the family, so pray for them. But anyway, on the way to my transplant anniversary appointment, I just thought I'd fill you in as to what I had going on today. I know a lot of you go through the same thing, either on a more or less often basis. I know in the beginning, these appointments like this occurred 2 days a week, and so 2 days a week I went and received some of these testing, not nearly all probably, and then it went on to a weekly and a bi-weekly and a monthly and a quarterly, and finally out to the semi-annually. I know a lot of you go annually, that's all, and I could easily do that, but I like to stick with the semi-annual. It's kind of a mutual decision between myself and the doctors to stick with the semi-annuals on this, just for peace of mind and comfort for both of us. And I'm also kind of a part of their little guinea pig type studies, and so some of the information they'll gather today will be what they'll use in that. Because I had such a great match, Dickie and I were matched not only in the typical ways, blood and tissue typing, we were also matched down to the individual antibodies and childhood diseases that we had. I guess I had chicken pox, he had chicken pox, whatever. But we've been matched down to the nth degree. So I'm on a very, very minimal dose of anti-rejection medications. I do take very similar medications to what most do, and that is my mainstays right now, or a Prograf, also known as tacrolimus or tacrolimus. I also take my Fortic, also known as microphenolate acid. I take my Fortic, and that's it. Everything else that I take is totally supplemental. A few medications are used in my bloodstream. Ditalzine is one of them. It's a blood pressure medication, but for me it's used to maintain that Prograf level and keep it stable. And that's a little bit more necessary in me because I take such a small dose. It could almost just not even be traceable in my blood. But they use that to hold that in, to make sure that what Prograf level I do have, even though it's not a very high one, is maintained and it is stable. So I do take that. And then I take everything else, totally supplemental things, vitamin D, magnesium, calcium, just the typical right there. Each of those help and assist in something that all of us really could probably benefit from if, and I say this disclaimer, if it can be proven in blood work that you are deficient in something, then you might need to take a supplement to make that up. But if you're not deficient, I know people don't understand this sometimes, but there's really no reason to go and clear off a shelf in your pharmacy or your local Walmart. There's no reason to go clear off the vitamin shelf and take every vitamin under the sun just because you think it would help. The average person, we benefit from vitamin D, vitamin C, a few other mineral type things along with that, but in general, most people don't need much, especially if they have a healthy diet, which I know a lot don't. But assuming you have a healthy, balanced diet, you don't need much. But if you do find out that you're deficient, that's one of the side blessings of being a transplant patient. They do a lot of blood work, and you find out a lot of stuff. If you did find out that you were deficient, then my team, at least, they're willing to help. And so the more consistent blood work like that can be, the better I'll feel. And so that's the way that works for me. As far as what I'm going to say or do when I get in there, a lot of people want to know what questions do you ask? What do you tell the doctors? What do you hold back? Today, let's just be honest about it. Today, being what is this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3, depending on how you count it, 3 days before Thanksgiving. I won't tell them much. If you go into the doctor and you talk too much and you tell them too much, you might land yourself in the hospital over something. And so I don't tell them much around the holidays. Probably a terrible idea, but I don't tell them much around the holidays because I don't want to be in the hospital. I've been there too many times on Thanksgiving and Christmas. As a matter of fact, I think it was about 3 years in a row. For whatever reason, I was in the hospital. Excuse me. I was in the hospital on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's 3 years in a row. And the funny thing about it, it wasn't that I got put in the hospital, the day before Thanksgiving, got out New Year's Day. It was 3 separate times every year. For some reason, they like to admit me for 7 to 8 days. So something would go wrong. I'd get put in the hospital right before Thanksgiving, get out the day after. Same thing with Christmas and New Year's and whatever. I missed a lot because of that. That's time I don't want to have to miss again. And obviously, if I was in a difficult spot, I would gladly do what my team asks and be admitted, but I don't feel like I'm in that spot, so I won't be. I won't tell them much. But I do have to be honest, and I always am, and I'm going to be honest with them today when they go to asking the questions. I know my team. I know Dr. Talaj and some of the others. They'll ask the right questions. I won't have to say much before they'll interrogate me to this point. But when they ask the right question, I'm going to tell them, look, my number one complaints now, and always have been, come down to some days having extreme fatigue, muscle weakness, and that sort of thing. That's some days. Some days I feel like Superman, and I can just go and do, and it seems like there's no stopping me. And then there's the off day of that, where you pay the price for that. You've been there, right? You pay the price for that. And, during those days, there's some regrets. There's some like, wow, why didn't I just do half of that yesterday, or just, not try to kill myself, whatever. But there are those days. But then I also have another type of day where I just don't feel good no matter what I do. And it's not what I've done. It's not what I'm doing. It just don't feel well. I think medication, cyclonus, I think diet plays some role into that. Maybe I didn't do anything yesterday, and that's the problem. I ate 16 chili dogs sitting on the couch, and so now I feel like trash today. I don't know. I never ate 16 chili dogs, by the way. I've gotten close, but not there. I have days that are just down, and it's very, very frustrating. I know my expectations for myself, for all of us, it should be high. I mean, it should be right above the head. Not too high you can't reach, but right above the head is where your expectations should lie. You should always be setting a bar, raising a goal for yourself, but just the little things frustrate me some days. My son, he's 15, Cameron, he loves to play any kind of sport, any type of competitive sport, especially backyard-wise. He loves it. And so it's a constant in our house that he wants me or his mother, who was, by the way, a basketball star in high school and could have easily gone to Division I college and such, had offers for that, and chose to marry me instead. But, he loves to play outdoor sports, and basketball, football, throwing the football is his thing. He's got amazing hands. The boy can catch. He can be a receiver, I'm convinced. If given the time, and if he had not had some physical, difficulties as well, genetic issues as well, I guarantee you he could play on any high school team in the country and probably eventually make his way to some type of college level football. He can catch anything, anytime. If he can get a finger on it, he's got it. One arm catches all the time, over the back, up in the air. Of course, he's 6'3.5". So yeah, he's a pretty big guy at 15 and good athlete. But he wants us to go out and throw the football, for example. A lot of days I don't handle that right. I get frustrated and kind of almost angry, seemingly toward him. I don't mean to, but because I know what that's going to entail. How would I say this? I have a lot of physical ability now, okay, because of heart transplant. Physically, there are some things that I can do that I've never been able to do, okay? Physically, that's true. But athletically, the ability has never been there and still not. And especially when you're using those athletic muscles. If you said, Jim, can you get on a flat piece of ground, a roadway or track, and walk 5 miles? Yep, I got it. I can do it. But you put me out in the backyard with Cameron throwing the football, I'm usually about 7-8 passes in. By that, I throw, he throws, I catch, back and forth. Usually about 7 or 8 of those, and I'll slap out. I don't have any arm and shoulder or peculiar, chest, whatever the muscles take to throw a football any distance. I don't have those. That's from having an ICD. That's from having, open heart surgery. I think that's from just having, not having a focus on that for a long time. I used to be extremely strong. I never was big, but I was strong, and I don't have that. It's frustrating. So I don't throw the ball very well. It's inconsistent. It's all over the play, and it don't go very far. But worse than that, basically, if it's my lower body, my legs and down, I can do anything. If it's my upper body, basically my waist and up, that's where all my weakness is. I tire really quickly. If I bend over, if I move quickly, literally, again, like 7 or 8 passes in, that includes me dropping about half of them and having to go over and pick them up. I'm winded, I'm out of breath, I can't talk, and walk or throw at the same time. I get so frustrated at that, and I don't really know. I don't really know what that is. Yeah, I'm older, than I was, and getting older, and obviously, I mentioned earlier, my heart, Dickie's heart that we share, he's 58 now. My heart is 58, so maybe my heart reacts like the average 58-year-old that hadn't necessarily ever been an athlete in his life. Either one of us, I guess. But maybe that's it. I don't know. But those days are random, and you never know when they're coming. That's what's so frustrating. Whether it's medication-based or just, there's so many factors. But whatever that's based on is frustrating. So will I mention that to them today? Yeah, I'll tell them. I will. What do I want them to do about it? Nothing. What do I expect them to do about it? Nothing. If offered them to do something about it, what will I say? No. My life is not perfect. Matter of fact, if you're a transplant recipient, your life isn't perfect either. I already know that. But it's satisfactory, and I'll take it. And so I'm happy with that, and I'll go with that. Not a big deal for me. But, things are difficult sometimes. It is what it is, as we say in the South. And I don't mind that. Would I like it to be better? Yeah. I mean, if I can do something small on my part. But at this point in my life, as well as I am doing, things I don't do well, but as well as I am doing at this point in my life, I'm not going through any type of major procedure. I'm not going to be hospitalized. I'm not going to have any major treatments or medication changes unless, if we could literally take a pill and I not have those days, I'm on it. But if it's maybe we'll try, check this out, adjust that, nah, I'm not doing that right now. I'm just not, particularly not around the holidays. We're not getting into that. I'm just going to boast and coast for a while and enjoy my life like it is for what it is. But I'm just not going to go through that. Now, if the day comes in the future when something should need to be done again, like an aortic valve replacement that I had a couple of years ago, would I do that? Yeah, if I felt terrible, I would. A lot of people, and everybody's got a different perspective, so I'm not knocking anybody in this, but a lot of people, they want everything to be just so, and they need it to be maybe for whatever reason. Maybe they're working full time, or maybe they're just in a different situation than what I'm in right now, and they need everything to be just right. So they want everything tweaked and adjusted and changed, and they're willing to go through any procedure or any test that they have to endure to get to the bottom of something. I understand that most of the things that we have done, the transplant is mainly the one I'm talking about. But transplant, any type of defibrillator device, LVADs, any type of pumps, for that matter, anything like a valve replacement like I had, those things ought to be reserved for the worst of the worst. I had my aortic valve replaced because I couldn't walk 200 feet without getting winded. I didn't have it done before that, and it wouldn't have considered such. Obviously, my heart transplant, much the same. If I had really been able to do anything and make if I had been able to really contribute to society at that point, as an employee, as a worker, as a father, as a husband, I would have rolled on what I had. I would not have done it the transplants are reserved for the worst of the worst. I have people all the time reach out to me and they say, you know, and they'll be panicked about it. I get that, and I'm very sympathetic. I'm very empathetic. And they'll say, you know, I need a heart transplant because this is going on, that's going on, and I feel terrible. And I'll say, okay, tell me about your day. Tell me about the average day. And they'll say, well, I get up and I go to work and I work 12 hours and I come home and, you know, I cut the grass. Whoa, hold up. If you're able to do that, now I know jobs can be different. Some of you work an office job, I understand. But for the average working fella or lady, if you can get up and do that, you're not quite ready for transplant. You may not feel good, and that may be in your future, but you're not ready for that. It is a last-ditch effort to be put in. A treatment, not a cure. Transplant is a treatment, not a cure. It's a last-ditch effort that needs to be put in. And so don't jump to that conclusion too quickly. And don't barrel into that as if it's the magic pill and the magic, you know, little minor surgery that you might think it is. It's not. It's a major overhaul. I don't care if it's heart, lung, liver, kidney, pancreas even. Having a transplant surgery is a major endeavor, and it is to be reserved for those who can't work, can't walk, you know, can't wheel themselves out of bed in the morning sometimes. That's just who it's for. And I'm thankful that I was not, although they say I was, I'm thankful I did not feel as if I was really honestly on death's door when my transplant came. I really didn't feel that way. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful, as I always say, I was able to keep my legs, and I walked 3 miles the night of my transplant. But folks, I couldn't do anything in my mind. I couldn't do anything profitable. I couldn't really care for my family. That 3 miles I walked that night that I brag about or boast about, I was on IV medications like Milrinone, which were giving me the fake energy to do that. So, you know, yes, it kept the muscles in my leg, and it did exactly what I intended it on doing. But it wasn't really me. And so I get that. But, you know, transplant, these procedures, don't wait too long, but at the same time, don't jump too early. You don't want to jump in too early on this stuff. It's too big a deal, too major of a procedure or surgery to take it at the wrong time. And I've done videos before on how do you know if you're ready for transplant. I think they're very well made. I think they give a lot of really specific pointers and checks, boxes you can check, you know, milestones you can mark off to make that determination in those videos. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. If you can't do anything, you might be ready. If you can, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. And I even know one man that he's waiting for a transplant, but he goes to the gym every day. Every single day he goes to the gym. And I'm like, man, I just keep going to the gym. That's what I do. I wouldn't sign those papers to be released for transplant, or maybe even for the evaluation itself, if that's where I was. But, you know, that's all personal opinion. He certainly knows his life better than I do. But that's kind of where I am. So, will I go in today and tell them myself? Maybe. If they want to do anything, will I get it done today? Nope. Won't do it. I'll just stick with what I got and be happy about it for now. And I trust my team. They've always followed up well. They've always cared for me extremely well. I trust my team. So, how about you? What do you think about your team? How confident are you in them? How confident are you in yourself? You know, do you feel like you're living the best life ever, even if it's not the best life ever? How satisfied? That's the key. How satisfied or content are you with the life you're living right now? Right now. For me, physically, I'm 100% satisfied. You know, I take a little more energy. I'd like to throw the football a little longer, a little farther. But I'm 100% satisfied. I'll deal with it. Emotionally, I'm in a good place. I'm happy. I've got a wonderful, wonderful family that support me and uphold me every day. And, you know, I get a little emotional sometimes around holidays and anniversaries and thinking about my donor. I love Miss Louise and, of course, love Dickie and the family. But emotionally, I'm in a good place. Spiritually, I'm in a good place, albeit I will say spiritually for me, I've got room for improvement. I've heard it said before, the largest room in anyone's house is the room for improvement. And I need some improvement. I need to do better. Because God deserves better out of me. I'm capable. I need to give God better. But am I content with my life? Yes. Am I happy with my life as it is? I'll take it every day. Every day the opportunity arises. Every day my head raises up off the pillow, my eyes pop open. I'll take it. And days like today when I'm, excuse me again, cruising toward Birmingham, can't get clear. Days like today when I'm cruising toward Birmingham, Alabama, talking to you, unedited, uncut. I love days like that. I think those are wonderful days. And I apologize for the road noise. Maybe it's been hard to hear me, and I apologize. But hey, this is what it is. My main focus is right there on the road in front of me. And but my main focus as far as what I'm saying is you. It's you right there, wherever you are, right there. You. Why don't you just come sit in the passenger seat? Just ride along with me. That'd be better. We could talk that way. But, just another day in the life of the transplant patient as far as I'm concerned. The benefits of today, if you want to see them that way, obviously I'm going to get my checkup, so I'll get some information to help guide me over the next 6 months until my annual appointment really does come up. I'll get I'll get to meet with old friends and family and doctors and fellow patients over here in Kirkland. It's always a family reunion. I get excited about that. But there's also the benefit that anytime I go to the clinic, and some of you already know where I'm going with this. Anytime I go into clinic, when clinic is over, and I don't care if I get done. We say in the South, get done. Y'all say that? It means get finished, get done. Anytime I get done, I don't care if it's 10:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., whatever. Whenever I get done, I go eat me a good, big, nasty, greasy burger. Okay, Saul's Soul Kitchen in Irondale. It's actually Avondale, but Avondale, Alabama, to me is the best burger you can get. I get the pimento cheeseburger. I'm sure you'll see pictures of it again today at some point, and I'll share those with you. But I go get me a big old burger. It's what I do, and I celebrate. And you say, well, Jim, that's not the best thing to eat if a heart healthy diet. No, it ain't. It ain't. It really is not. But the way I celebrate is if I go into clinic and I get good results, I get a burger. Yay me. If I get good results, I get a burger. If I get bad results, I eat a burger. Because if I get bad results on a cardiac test, then what I'm going to do for myself is I'm going to say, I'm going to eat this one more burger, and that's it. It's time to go back to salads and fruit and boiled chicken or something. I don't know what, but I'm not a dietitian, by the way. But it's time to get healthy. But I'm going to eat that burger before I do. So that's just my habit. What is your habit? You go into clinic, do you celebrate in any way, good results or not? Do you mourn over bad results? How do you deal with that? What do you do when you go into clinic? How do you leave clinic? Do you go eat something favorite, or do you just go back to your salad and thank God that you've had another day? I'm not picking on salad people. I love a good salad. Oh, it's got half a bottle of Thousand Island on it, and a jar of Bacos, and a pound of cheese. I love a salad. Love salad. I call it cheesy bacon dressing salad. Hey, no, I got you on that. I don't quite do that, but anyway. Maybe this is over. Maybe I'm rambling. I'm glad you're able to sit down with me today, and hope that you're having a good day. We are again 3-4 days from Thanksgiving, however you count that out. So I want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and let you know that I'm here for you. By the way, when I do get to clinic in a minute, if I can find it, I will be putting on my VOG mask. See? I will be putting on my VOG mask in clinic in a minute. VOG mask, folks, is not only a sponsor of this channel, I honestly still believe they make the best, highest quality, most comfortable mask of anybody. by far. And I've tried a lot. I've had a lot of them sent to me to test out, try out. Some have shown up on the channel. Most haven't. But VogMask still wins them all. Best mask available. And there is a coupon code available that you'll find right in the description below. I'll put it in the first comment and pin it to the top. There's a coupon code you can use up until November the 30th. So coupon code up until November 30th, 2021. It'll get you 10 or 20% off. One of those. Don't quote me on that. You'll see it when you get down there. Either 10 or 20% off. The good folks at VogMask sent me over that coupon code to share with you on last night. And go over and purchase your VogMask. Get ready for the season, especially for the holidays. It's going to be around family and friends, and you're going to need it. But here shortly, within a week or so probably, I'm expecting to get a huge shipment supply of VogMask into my place. And you know what I do with those? I don't sell those. I give them away. And I'm going to be giving away VogMask very soon. But don't let that keep you from taking advantage of the coupon code, getting your discount over on VogMask.com today and prior to November 30th, because there may be some styles or sizes you want or need that I won't have. And you may or may not win. Plenty of you do, but you might not win. So go ahead and make a purchase. Support the VogMask company. They've been so good to us, myself and you included. Those of you who've been a participant in my drawings before know that it costs you $0 to win one of those masks. I even pay the shipping. Come on. Do them a favor. Go over and make a purchase on VogMask.com today, and then check back with me in a day or two, and we'll try to get that VogMask giveaway video put together. There'll be a video telling you how to enter the giveaway, the drawing, and then there'll be a video where I'll announce the winners. And who knows? I mean, I feel festive right now. I might announce 12 days of winners, like we do 12 days of Christmas or something, or 25 days of Thanksgiving or something. I don't know how that works. Anyway, I better get off. I'm making a fool out of myself. We'll talk to y'all later. Stay stronger, friends.